Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to VIBE95. You guys see your big, wonderful, greatest South Florida's reggae and hip hop talk show and radio for you guys. Tonight, we have our awesome guest star, Mr. Harris. He's going to bring himself in this evening. Here we go and bring him on in, you guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up, good people? It's the big homie Dada 5000. And right now, we're with Don't Sleep Promotions. Got to give a big shout out to Don't Sleep Promotions and my girl, host, late Liddy. You know, we vibing on 95. Good to be in the building.
Welcome, Dada 5000. Now, I got to start off with the name first. I got to start off. What made you come up with Dada 5000? Give me the background to this name.
Well, Liddy, it's like this. My real name is DeFear, right? Which is a one of one. I'm like probably the only person in the universe with that name. DeFear. Now, even though I use it for cool name flips, like I see the fear all in your eyes, I put the fear of God in my opponents, so I thought it was really cool. But a lot of people could not pronounce the fear. They said everything else. So I made it easy for them. The DHA is Da. So I took the H out, brought the D and the A a little closer and put it together. Dada, and Dada is short for the fear. The 5000 is because I felt like I was always more advanced, always ahead of everybody else inside my circle of peers. So I always, was brainstorming, with the older individuals because those was the ones who held the challenging conversations. So it's like right now we're in 2021. So I still feel like I'm 279,000 light years ahead of everybody.
Ahead of everybody else. Okay. So you're a future Dada. You all in the future. Your mind is elsewhere. You're not right here with us. You know exactly what you're going towards and what you're doing. So the fear is definitely a right name for you.
Thank you. I tell people all the time that I'm not from this galaxy. I'm from another planet inside of another galaxy light years away called Nebulon. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but when they look back on the trail that I left ablaze in the backyard all the way to the world famous Hard Rock and beyond, it makes sense.
It makes sense. So you hold that legacy tough with that name.
Of course.
I love it. So let me ask you. Now, I was going to start off with this fight with you and Kimbo. It was going to be my top question. How did that fight go for you on your aspect? I read about it, what you said when the reporters asked you and everyone asked you about the fight. But tell me in your words. Tell me about this fight.
Well, this is the truth, because a lot of individuals, they only know what the reporters print inside the paper, But when you are from the streets where everybody is connected, we all know everyone's situation. So when you look at a Kimbo Slice, he was a warrior, and RIP to him, I take my hat off to everything that he's done. But at the end of the day, they knew exactly what they were coming up against, and I traveled the world with them. So I feel like I was his most dangerous opponent, because the world knew Kimbo Slice. I grew up with Kevin Anthony Ferguson, and I knew that, okay, he's a start. He starts fast because, he was not in perfect health. So he had to come out and knock these individuals out quick. Because the longer it goes, the more he fades and fatigues. That's why I want everybody to watch Dogfight. It's going to shock the world, and it's no way possible I should have went out like how I went out. But when you're in way over your head, and it's a lot of things that you're not factoring in, that's when things are more than likely, to slip up on you. So this was a mixture of things, my potassium was over a 6 point something. It's not humanly possible for your potassium to get to that high. Only digested or it was injected. You can only be affected by those that have access to you. Now, here it is. I'm going into cardiac arrest before I even got to the ring. I stood toe-to-toe with a known puncher and a known knockout artist for 3 rounds. He threw 78 shots. Box office, copy box, punch that numbers. He threw 78. I took 57.
Connected.
There's no way I'm going to stand up. and let you get off 57 times, and he still could not drop me, not once. You know, the only 2 times I went to the ground was when he took me there. So if my potassium, put it like this, if what transpired never would have transpired, I fought 3 rounds with a feared striker, right? And I stood 30 seconds left in the fight, and I was winning on the scorecards.
Yes.
So it's like, at the end of the day, you know, people do various things for various reasons. I had 4 guys go to Vegas. The night of the weigh-ins, they put $6 million on Dada 5,000.
Yep. That's what I heard.
We generated more money on that fight than any other professional team in the game that night, you know. So a lot of people had their desires, you know, and it's in the Bible. My people shall perish from a lack of knowledge. And that night I was the one with the lack of knowledge.
So in this fight online, which is really crazy, I wanted to ask about it because online is really a back and forth detail on who won this fight, how did this fight go, and it's because of what you just explained to me that why so many people was like, well, the stamina of Kimbo and how it went down and how that at 5,000 was going down toe to toe. It was a really close match, and for it to say online that you won, in some articles it does state that you won when it comes to, I guess, keeping up and the work that Kimbo had, and I guess the years that he came, and you coming in where you came in and going toe to toe with him. How do you feel about it going so back and forth? And now you telling me that you didn't win this battle, and I know I read deeper in it and I found that out as well. But from a lot of people not knowing who actually did and didn't win, how do you feel about that information being passed around like that?
Well, this is it, you know, and those was just, you know, personal opinions, you know, and a little bit of speculation. You know, when I was inside the bathroom, right, you had 3 officials that came in. They said, we need to take a urine sample and a hair follicle, right? So I said, okay. So I go inside the bathroom. You had 1 standing to my left, 1 standing to my right, and somebody standing to the rear. It's me, right? So they came back 30 minutes later and said, hey, you're good to go, right? So they told me that, hey, I'm good to go. The same checks that you guys performed on me, you had to perform on him. What people ain't talking about is this. He failed horribly. He was on steroids. So you go slice Bellator 149, he was on steroids, but this was the guy. This was the guy that had the skill, he had the experience, and Dada, and they had crazy bets. Dada 5,000 is not going to last a second. He's not going to last out of the first round. But what did he know? The rest of the world did not know that he had to go and get on steroids and, you know, compromise me. And I got to say it since we're here, you know, my own team, you know what I'm saying? My own team sold me out. You know, that's with the elevated levels of potassium. I was going inside that's why I was going into cardiac arrest. And it started low. I went into dehydration, right? When I went into dehydration, you know what I'm saying? I went into renal failure, right?
Okay.
My kidneys were shutting down. Then I went into severe rhabdomyolysis. That means the muscles is breaking down in the body and it's clogging up the kidneys. The last thing to go was my heart. I had 2 heart attacks. I knew in the second round, like, yo, you know, either this dude is going to knock me out or I'm going to die in this round. Giving up, backing down, quitting, you know what I'm saying, was nowhere on my mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's what separates me from a lot of individuals. A lot of individuals, they don't got a heart like me, you know? So if I'm willing to go off the porch, up the street, around the block, and then do it again. You know? So it's like, when you look at it, my water was spiked with potassium, elevated. Men lie, medicals don't. Listen, I was in the hospital. It was a nurse. She came inside and she said, I've been here for 27 years. She was like, I retire in 3 years. She was like, in my 27 years at this hospital, I seen 17 similar to what you have. And all 17 died. Yours was way worse than all 17. You know, and it's like, man, listen, no activity in the brain. You know, no, like I was just there. You know, and it was because of everything that transpired. So when I look back, like, how important is the fight that, you know what I'm saying, you're willing to, you know, go to the temporary victory, because they overturned it off of the steroids alone. And then when they did the blood toxicology, they was like, oh, come on, man. There's no way your body could have generated this level, you know what I'm saying, of potassium on its own. And it was giving me the water. It was in the water. This is the oldest trick in the book. When Deontay Wilder was saying what he was saying, you know, a lot of people said whatever. Tyson Fury said, hey, give me some water. They gave him a bottle of water doing after the fight. He said, where did you get this from? And he said, right, he was like, I don't want it. No one does that. And that's how, you know what I'm saying, I feel that night.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that and that they put, I mean, I'm not saying that, I mean, your team, yeah, I mean, it was a really bad setup for that, because like that's your health over a fight. It shouldn't be.
Listen, I'm a real brute, and like I tell them all the time, have you ever seen a gorilla fight? They say, no. I said, me either, but I bet you it ain't pretty. I was going to go in there and savagely, brutally beat him unconscious. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things that needed to transpire for him to get the edge. Medically, again, dogfight round 2, medically, he was not cleared to fight. Don't know how they did it. They got it done. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's like, he know his situation. His camp knew his situation, and they knew what they needed to do. So, of course, you know what I'm saying, you got to take that added supplements, what they call it, you know what I'm saying, to build him up so he would have been, you know what I'm saying, competitive towards me, you know. But do that all you want. But, you know what I'm saying, when you look at the potassium in the water, I mean, that's an all-time low. And don't take me for it. Kidney specialist, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I thank God, I give God all the glory, right? How many individuals you know that was ever put on dialysis and got off without a transplant?
Yeah, no, it's a high, yeah, it's not likely. Not likely.
And guess what? I was on it and I got off. You know what I'm saying? I was on it for like 3-4 months and I got off. And everybody was like, oh my gosh. Even the people at the kidney specialist place, they was like, oh my God. They didn't believe it. People right now are wanting to do studies and do all of this because it's unlikely, you know? And I tell them, I was never sick to begin with. What happened to me, my situation, it happened, you know, and it wasn't natural. It wasn't like I was not
yeah,
healthy.
It's not something that was currently occurring in your life. It just happened that moment.
Yeah, because it was done. It was purposely done. You know, and again, RIP to him. I'm still here, you know, and I get an opportunity to go on and continue doing what I'm doing.
Do me a favor, Mr. Dada 5000. Is your connection, can you check on your connection a little bit? You're going in and out with me a little bit. I do want to have these because your stories are coming in clear, but I'm losing you somewhere in between there. You're coming in a little bit static-ish for me.
How about now?
Talk to me a little bit more.
Right now, I'm still static.
You're moving a little slow. I'm just trying to figure out if we could.
All right, right now, I guess is that iOS thing. You told me to update the version. Could you hear me now?
I can hear you right now. So let's go with this while we could try to see.
Let me see, because this phone. Okay. Well, I'll just stay positioned right here then and not move.
Okay. Okay, we'll try to do that. We'll try to work there. So I do want to ask, born and raised in the area you were born and raised, is this what craved you to be Mr., you know, the fear? Well, obviously the fear already came with the name and the birth that already built within you. But tell me about where you were born and raised, Mr. Sir. California.
Believe it or not, you know, my mom had me in the Bahamas in 1977. Now, if you go to the Bahamas right now today, technology is still not where it should be. So you can imagine how it was back then. But here's the deal. I was born with the worst case of meningitis, streptic meningitis, and that like to kill me. So I had to get they had to call an emergency. You know, I ended up going from the Bahamas to Miami Children's Hospital, and that's what saved my life, because I would have died, you know. And I was one of the longest kids in Miami Children's Hospital. I was in the hospital for a very, very long time, back and forth for years after I was released, until they let me go like scot-free. So I knew that, you know, it was something that I was, you know, put here to
For a
do.
reason to do.
My schooling. That's where I started my schooling at Matthews Center, EOPI, you know, R.R. Moulton, Bel Air Elementary, R.R. Moulton again, Southwood, and yes.
So would you say that Bahamas, even though yes, you had your experience in the
So
hospital,
it was really interesting, but we learned very quickly, you know, because if you do not, you know, you're gonna get bullied, you're gonna get picked on. They're gonna take your lunch money, they're gonna take whatever they can take from you. Why? Because they can.
I'm
Yes.
losing you again with the connection. Can you still hear me
You
clearly?
was asking me a question?
No, I'm losing you on your story. The connection, I'm losing you a little bit on the connection again.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Let me let me ask you this.
Can you do me a favor, Mr.?
I was gonna say,
Oh,
I can hear you. I'm thinking, like, could an iPad work or something?
yes. If you could log out and log back in. No, it does work. An iPad would definitely work as well.
Okay, I don't have it with me. I believe it's inside the car, and you guys will send a link there or something.
It's we will send it. Yes, we'll resend it to your iPad.
I have another. Okay, if I have a 12. I have a 12 Pro. A 12. I have a 12 Pro iPhone with me. Do you think that'll work better?
Yes. Yes, it will. Yes. Yes. That will. That'll definitely work better. All right, guys, we're just having a little bit of technical difficulty. Just bear with us, you guys. Thank you again for holding on and sticking with us. Just give us a couple more minutes while we bring our guests back in, and we'll be with you guys shortly. I promise you.
Yeah, I bought this phone about.
Oh, he's back. Do I need to get the number to send the link off of here? No. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can send it to this phone, 305 305-413-7881.
Can you go to your email through the 12?
Because this will be the first time I ever even use this phone here.
Oh, okay. Do you have access?
It's not set up yet, but I can make calls.
It's not set up yet. Okay, so it's brand new phone.
No, it's not set up yet because I messed up on Google and they told me they'll send me a code.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have his login yet. So you don't have your login yet for it.
No.
Okay. No. I'm asking you questions. My tech is asking to ask you. So I'm sorry. Bear with me.
Okay.
Bear with me. Look, the phone that we're on right now, if you want to shut it down and upgrade it, and then I guess reconnect and then press the reconnect, we should be okay with yours. Since you said you upgraded right when we started the video, correct?
Okay, I could try.
So try to stay on this phone. Just go ahead and shut out and then log back in.
I didn't do anything. Definitely disconnected.
Oh, you didn't do the upgrade. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so shut it down, upgrade it, and then come right back in.
All right.
And I'll be right here waiting for you. So come quick, Dada 5000.
All right.
All right. So as we wait for him to come on back, you guys, thank you again. This is just a recap, just in case anybody missed. This is Dada 5000 that's on with us tonight on VIBE95. He is the one that did his MMA fighting with Kimbo Slice. RIP to Kimbo Slice. He did, of course, go down with the fight because of his own personal severe issues that he was having. If you did miss it, like I said, you will catch that. But he did have severe kidney issues during the fight, and he actually went off because of that. And if you do want to watch that, go look at, I think it's called, oh Lord, it's actually called Dogfight, DAWG, not DOG, Dogfight, Part 1 and Part 2. The fight is on that movie. So the next yes. So when he does come back, we're gonna go ahead and tune back in with the Fear Harris is his government name. The Fear, like he said before, you guys, if you were on earlier, he did express the fact that name came with birth, and it makes sense to the type of person that he is because the fear, he puts the fear in his steps and the fear in you as a man. And the 5000, his nickname is Dada 5000, which because a lot of people couldn't pronounce the fear, he put Dada in there. And the 5000 is because he is so much more advanced than 2021 that we are in. He is over 1,000 years more advanced than we are right now. So not over 1,000, over 2,000 years more advanced than we are now. So hopefully when he chimes back in, logs back in, we can go back deeper into that. But that is so far what we chimed in on Dada 5000. Also, DeFar Harris, who, like I said, got into the fight with the MMA fight with Kimbo Slice. RIP again to Kimbo Slice. They went 3 rounds in, and unfortunately, he did lose that fight only because, again, that he stated his severe kidney issues and everything with his high potassium and what he went through throughout the fight with round 1 and round 2. He actually stated that he had 2 heart attacks within round 2, which he felt like he either was going to get knocked out by Kimbo Slice or be knocked out and die by his severe issues that he was having throughout this fight. So within all of that, hopefully when he comes back in, we can go back into the web bras and cocaine cowboys and a lot of things that he actually chimed in throughout his lifestyle and life while he was with us so far. So you're with your girl, Liddy, of course. I don't know what I should say while we wait. Look, he's back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, yes, yes. It's good. It's good. It's good to be back.
Yes.
You know, I don't see a big difference though.
You don't hear me any different?
No.
I still sound shaky?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, let's see how we're gonna hold on. Let's give us a second since you just chimed back in. Let's see if we can play with our sound on our side again.
Okay, well you sound great now.
I do. And you do sound
Yeah.
clear and again as well. So that is good that we are both here, clear and clear. So, like I said, let me know if there's anything that, if you start hearing me shaky again, and I'll also let you know with our connection so that we can have a nice, clear, beautiful interview today.
Okay.
All right. So, before we got cut off, I was going to ask about, because of the fact that a lot of people, like I said, they give Kimbo Slice the crown of, the king of the web brawlers. Who's taking the crown? Are you going
Well,
for the crown? Do you know anyone that's going for the crown, or are we gonna let it rest with Kimbo?
no, actually, I have it. You know, and voluntary or involuntarily, that torch, you know what I'm saying, it was passed down, to myself. I'm the guy to beat. And we have a bare knuckle fight league, we're large, we're all over the world. We got a mega deal, with the Hard Rocks, Hollywood Hotel and Casino and beyond, and it feels good to be, to do what we've did in the backyard, and to have a home right here at one of the top 5 grandest hotels on the planet,
Yes.
and to be able to do what we do best and entertain, the world. So, I'm also coming back, it's going to be crazy, so right now I got a team of doctors and physicians and trainers, what I'm saying, working with me, to get myself back to where I need to be and back in the game.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you're getting your health back because I did hear that you were going to get back in the game. And I was wondering what you were doing to make sure that everything is back in the same. So you do have a whole health team now to
Oh,
make
of
sure that
course.
you and
Oh,
yourself
of
is
course.
right there. Good. So
Yes,
not leaving
yes.
anyone else's hands anymore.
Oh
Perfect.
no. And I'm a lot smarter now because a person can't, even me right now. A person, if I'm drinking something right now and I put it down and I walk away, I come back, I don't want it. Because that's what got me in trouble in the first place. What
Yeah.
I
Picking up.
consumed.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm a lot meaner. Because totally meaner.
You have to be.
So
Yeah.
it's like God help the guy who's standing in front of me in the next couple months.
So who is responsible for checking the water at these fights?
My camp, no, your team. You have
Your team is.
you have your corner guys. You have everybody in their respectable places. You have your water guys. You got your head coach. Your job is to get focused. So it's like whoever has that water, you know, they're responsible. And I know exactly who had that water, and I gotta say on record, that I haven't seen him in 5 years. I haven't seen him in 5 years. He changed his number. He changed his number. He deleted all social media, right? He quit his job, and he no longer stays where he stays at. See, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you and your audience don't know that's
That's
transpired.
happening.
Yeah.
So why do you feel that your team would self-sabotage someone that you're a part of? Why? Why do you feel like they would do that to you?
Money and jealousy. Money and jealousy.
With the
Like
people that are
I'm
supposed to
training.
be.
Yeah, I'm training, and I got my head coach. He's asking me. What I'm saying, hey, would you do this for $1 million? I'm like, no. Would you do that for 2 million? I'm like, no, because when I whoop this dude, I'm gonna get that anyway.
Oh,
But I didn't know that he was reporting back and
he was.
forth. Yeah.
Yep, that was the middle way
I
to find
fired him.
out what
I
you're
fired him. I
capable of.
fired him.
Where?
Yes, I fired him, and he begged his way back. And your mind, a
So
mind
you
control
weren't you
that
weren't
money.
there yet. You brought him back in.
Yeah. I fired him, and other members on the team, what I'm saying, brought him back. And now I see why he had to finish the job.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you, like I said, I'm glad you came out on top. I'm glad you're still here with us. Like I said, you have a lot to do, and you already knew that since birth when it was struggle for there, then,
Yeah.
and still now. So
Mhm.
it's like you said, you're destined to be 5,000. So it's not now, it's not right now. What you're going through is what you're doing. So I do have to ask. I know Dogfight Part 1 was really about shadowing the fight. And I know part 2 is on Netflix, coming out on Netflix. Or is it out already on Netflix? I know it's coming out, or is it out yet?
No. It's coming. It's coming out. You know, shout out to Billy Corbin, Rocket Tour, those guys over there, the whole team,
They're
Alfred.
working.
You know, Dave. Yeah, Dogfight One was dropped something like a Beyonce album with no marketing, no promo, and it was one of their biggest hits. Right?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I didn't even hear
Yeah.
about it, and it was just there.
Yes, and now we've revised Dogfight Round One because keep in mind we have thousands of hours of footage that we edited down to an hour and 49 minutes. So now we've taken a lot of footage that people have never seen before. We've added it to one. So we're going to release one and two back to back so you can make a weekend of it. Nothing on the planet is going to be like it. Nothing on the planet is going to be like it.
Who's gonna do the soundtrack?
Good
Part
question.
2.
We dropped I ain't gonna say we, but I, what I'm saying, again, lack of knowledge, we could have made a lot of money off that soundtrack. But we're gonna pick it up on too. So I got certain ideas. I was speaking with Cool, one of the producers of Cool and Dre, down here in South Florida. They're doing some great things, and I was going to collaborate with some other artists, and make it like an EP, and have it attached to the documentary, and that could be the
Okay.
birth of a lot of good things. So
Well, I
definitely,
hope you keep us informed with that because
I was
we
gonna say,
definitely interested in knowing how that's going. We definitely don't want you to forget about us and put us in there.
definitely, I'm gonna hold a conversation with you guys, what I'm saying, shortly after this because yeah, that's big, and I just thank God to be connected with a lot of individuals, artists, that have acted in movies and also done the soundtrack, like LL, like Will Smith, those guys there. And for them to be actors at the top tier of their game and to be able to do the soundtrack, that's like win-win either way you look at it.
Yeah, no, 100%. No matter who, yes, that's a beautiful, that'll be a beautiful collaboration, whichever. I know, so like I said, since now you got hit with a little bit more of a throughout your last journey, you're
Yeah.
definitely not going to hit those bumps like you did the first go around. You're going to
Oh,
definitely check your
definitely.
lips and check it
Whole
twice.
beast out here.
Definitely learn from that.
Hey, it's on a whole nother level. And with me, it starts here with the mind. Being cerebral. Like if I'd have told people, years ago, like how somebody once said with horses, like, hey, listen, one day horses is going to be obsolete, and they're going to use them for sport. They're going to use them for travel. They're going to use them for all type of things, and people couldn't see it. But look at where we're at today with horses. They once told me, they said, hey, listen, you know, MMA and boxing, you're taking the sport back with this. Now Forbes is calling it the next $1 billion sport,
The next, yep,
and for good, hey,
that's exactly what they call it.
and for good reason. And I just thank God that I'm in a position to be the captain of the ship, and we're gonna spearhead this right into the hearts, what I'm saying, other people of the 21st century.
Tell me about Cocaine Cowboys.
Cocaine Cowboys, wow, that was big. That was down here, in '72. I mean, Miami, Florida was built, what I'm saying, on the drug trade.
It was.
And as time went on, the old mafia ties, what I'm saying, stepped aside, and other individuals, took a more, upward stand, to run certain things. But it hasn't gone nowhere now. Those guys are still here. Those guys
No,
are
I know
still
the
here.
directors.
Yeah.
So the directors, who did it? Who did the directing for that?
Billy Corbin, the same one who done my documentary Dogfight, and who's done Dogfight Round 2. Billy Corbin, he done Cocaine Cowboys. He done Screwball, with Jose
Screwball was in there.
Canseco and them, with the steroid stuff, with baseball. He done Limelight. He done Square Grouper. He done ESPN 30 for 30. You know, he done The U. You know, he's done a lot. You know, not only that, when you look at, you know, The U, 30 for 30, you know, LeBron James, everybody was tweeting about that because everybody watched it. It showed how these athletes, you know, they come into the league and they make all of this money. And look at them now. They were working before they got to the league, you know, and shared their stories. And that was just something for everybody inside sports and entertainment, you know, to actually be able to walk away with that knowledge. Because, you know, if you play professional sports, that's not a career. That's an opportunity that you've got to make the best of it. You know, we talk about medical, police, teaching, stuff like that, you know, firefighters, you know, lawyers, doctors. These are careers. You know, you see these individuals, they come out there and they play ball and they get hurt and you never see them again. That's why, you know, I encourage everybody, if you're inside school, get your education to have something to fall back on.
NFL
stands for not for long. You know, you got to get 4 years in. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You know, football is the lowest paid, highest injury, you know what I'm saying, sport out of everything.
I mean, yeah. No, you're right, because they do say as much of, like, I think like 60 to 7% of the football players after their 4 to 8 years, majority of them had more than, I think it was 6 or 8 concussions. And coming out of that is not good.
More surgeries. You see how, like, you give them a Demerol shot or a painkiller, you know, so they got a torn ligament, they take them in the back, they dope them up and put them right back out there.
Right back on the field. And that's it. That's it. Little dummies that, I mean, not to call them dummies, but they're little dummies that run out for them and just literally it's a job that they're killing themselves for. And they'll trade you in a heartbeat.
Exactly. And guess what? When we trade you, your medical records are going with you.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think they know that all the time. I don't think they believe that.
Exactly. You know? And
so I do want to ask.
You're done. Huh?
How did you and Billy get connected? I have to ask, because you have been highlighting Billy and praising Billy, and he has been there with you. With, like you said, he's done a lot of films. Where did you guys get in contact?
Well, it's so crazy because I got corporate America to trade in their suits and ties for baseball hats and tennis shoes. Come on down to sunny South Florida. And they didn't believe that this guy was doing these barbaric, awesome, you know, contests and shows inside of his grandmother's backyard. So I went front page in Miami New Times. Kobe Katz said, "Dada, I have someone that wants to meet you." It was a piece on myself from Kobe Katz and Francisco Alvarado, and Kobe Katz introduced me to Billy Corbin. That was back in 2008. We sat out with Billy. 2009 January, right? That's when we initially started filming Dogfight Round 1, right? And they said, "What day you gonna do it on?" I said, "The day that they're having the Martin Luther King Jr. parade coming up 104th Avenue. They said, "You're going to have thousands of people there." And I said, that's exactly right. That's the day we're going to do it on. And everybody's mind was blown, you know, and, you know, we bottled that up, you know, and we had the darndest time selling it, believe it or not.
I bet.
I mean, because it was new. It was real. They said it was too raw, too real. You know what I'm saying? For TV, too raw, too urban, too real. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Public consumption. You know, and out of all of the individuals, right, who was saying all this, like Billy and we was flying people in to look at this, and they all loved it, but no one wants to touch it. No one wanted to touch it. And Netflix came in, and the rest was history.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I didn't get to finish it, unfortunately. I know I didn't finish it, so I won't tell you I finished Dog. I won't tell you I finished part 1. I did start it because, like I said, I was very interested. And I was like, the film, how it's put together. And like I said, it is very raw. It literally, the yelling, the scream, the sweat, like everything is literally for you to feel like you're sitting and you're in there. And the thing is, like I said, it was missing, like you said, the background, like what's going on behind the scenes, like what are they talking about for real? And like I said, I'm waiting for part 2 because I am halfway in part 1. But like I do love when I watch MMA fights, I do like the documentary version. I do like to see how the fighter's thinking before he goes out there. What he's thinking after. What he's thinking in between the rounds. So if part 2 is breaking down and showing us everything that we missed, I cannot wait to see part 2. I am very excited.
This is it. Well, this is it. Part 2 is going to show you that, but it's also going to show you the elevation.
Yes,
how
everything
went from here to here. You know, with Dogfight Round 1 Reloaded, it's going to show you a lot of that new stuff that you're talking about right there.
So what are you branding yourself in right now?
Everything, you know.
And you're gonna say that.
You know, I'm really cool with guys like Don King. It's nobody in the business. It's nobody, no celebrity, nobody that I'm not connected to, you know. And what's important and what's beneficial to me is conversation. For them to tell me certain things, you know, and I could utilize that, you
Take
know.
it and use it. Yep.
Exactly. So when you look at the biggest and the best on the planet that's doing what they're doing, you know, I study them, you know, and I look at them as superpowers, right? So I take all of their strengths. It could be 20 people. I take all of their strengths, right? I emerge it within myself. You know what I'm saying? So I become one superpower myself. I got all your strengths with none of your weaknesses. And that's who Dada 5.
But that's the best thing about sitting at a table with a lot of minds is that you can take the great things and pick what you need and what you get from them and leave all the negative things that you don't need. And that's the best room that you need to be in.
Exactly.
You should never be the smartest person in the room, right? You should never be.
So could you repeat that?
As I always was taught that you should never be the smartest person in the room because you're in the wrong room.
Yeah. I agree. You know.
You agree. And it seems like that's exactly what you've been doing.
Exactly.
In every step. So being connected with Netflix, what is the next step in the movie industry? Or you're gonna stick in the dogfight? What is your next step in Netflix? Now that you have I'm sure they're looking for the next. Now that you gave them part 2 and they're loving it. What is your next goal?
Dogfight round 1, dogfight round 2, dogfight round 3. We're gonna do something like a Fast and Furious chain, you know.
Okay.
With Netflix. Also, it's like for myself, you know, AEW, WWE, you know, I'm looking to do some stuff with them. Not like a full-time wrestler, but some cameo type stuff. You know, also get into the movies, you know, got a lot of connects out there in Atlanta, you know, and when you look at Michael Clark Duncan and a lot of these Debo, a lot of these big, strong dudes, you know, they're no longer here with us, you know. So I think that, you know what I'm saying, I could substitute nicely.
I like it. Give yourself a little pound of back for that one. I like how you smooth yourself in there. That was nice sliding. And at the age of 43 right now, correct?
Yes.
At the age of 43, you are, I mean, in the rock world, like in what y'all doing, this is young in the MMA fighting world.
Yeah, because you got to look at it like, you know, with boxing, with MMA, with bare knuckle, it's different levels to each. You could take a person that's 50, and they can where they're over in boxing, over in MMA, you know, in bare knuckle, they could probably, you know what I'm saying, hammer out another couple of years, you know. With bare knuckle, you know, it's a science, you know, to that. And by me being, you know, one of the owners and the founder, you know, of it, I get to see it from both sides, you know. And MMA and boxing, people have done. Okay. Could you hear me now?
Keep going. You're coming back a little bit.
Okay. People have died in boxing. People have died in boxing. People have died in MMA, right? When you look at, you know, glove sports, right? And this is just going around, but going to your question. The gloves are designed to protect my hands, not my opponent's face. So when you look at
Yes.
individuals like Muhammad Ali, you know, Reddick Bowe, and a whole bunch of others, that speech was slurred, you know, from continuously getting hit, you know what I'm saying, in the head. You know, that's because in boxing, 800-900 punches could possibly be thrown in a fight. We're not talking about multiple fights. We're talking about one fight. We're not talking about multiple fights in 1 year or 15, 20 years, one fight. 900 punches thrown, 300 jabs, 250, you know what I'm saying? We're good?
Keep going. Yes, then you
Okay.
came back. I heard you come back.
250, headshots. You know, when you break it down, you got
That's
your
a lot of
cranium
hits.
rocked a lot
Yeah.
because your brain is inside of a sea of
Grapefruit.
kinetic tissues and fluids. And
Oh,
once you get rocked and it shifts, we spoke about concussions. Boxing and
so
MMA is very, very dangerous
so
compared
with
to
bear
bare
fighting,
knuckle.
so with your bear fighting, isn't bear fighting with there's nothing on your hands? Is that what bear fighting
Yeah.
is? So why would bear fighting be less damaging than something that would have gloves on?
Because in a bare-fisted fight, right? If I throw an incorrect punch, not only can
You're
I
cracking
break
your own
my
knuckle.
hand, I could tweak my wrist or anything, and guess what? The fight is over. See, when
Yes.
you have that support wrap in MMA and in boxing, you don't have to worry about that. And you don't have to worry about breaking your knuckles because you got that padded cushion. So you can punch.
All
Repeatedly,
day and not feel
blows
it.
and blows. And guess what? They say bare knuckle fighting is dangerous. Okay, the legs are the strongest parts on our bodies. You don't have. What about getting kicked bare feet to the head in the MMA fight? Or what about if I clinch a person, right, and bring them into a knee? Or what if I take my elbow and just smash them in the face? All of those deliver more blunt force trauma than a fist, you know?
Yes.
So if somebody, we've seen them, somebody get leg kicked in the head in MMA, that generates
Yeah.
more power than a fist. But that's what they don't talk about. But they got the right one because at the end of the day, I understand, that they don't want bare knuckle to flourish, but they have to also understand, is this where they both were generated from? This is where boxing and MMA, evolved from, bare knuckle. Before
No,
the
yeah,
gloves they were
yeah,
all
like fight clubs and stuff. That's how it started. Like bear fighting back and forth, and they tried to make it safer by adding the gloves. They tried to make it safer by adding the kick, so it's not just fist on hand to hand contact. But like you said, it is
made
more
it dangerous.
dangerous.
Yeah, they made it more dangerous when they added the gloves.
Yeah, with thinking they're making it better, they made it more dangerous and more
There you
elusive
go.
for people to actually lose their mind within all this. Well, I do want to ask, I want to highlight with your bear, I have to, with this bear fighting, you educated yourself so much on this that with everyone coming at you in every direction, what are you giving them as an answer on what you're coming with this and why this is so substantial to you over boxing and MMA?
Well, you got to keep one thing in mind. Everybody that's trying to do bare knuckle right now, trying to do anything, remotely close, I tell people they watched Dada 5000. They took pages out of Dada 5000's, backyard. So at the end of the day, it's like for myself, we've created, a whole promotions. And not only will we rival the boxers and the MMA, but we're in our own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we're giving individuals, we are, I'm going to say we are, millionaires, and we will be creators of millionaires by giving opportunities, you know what I'm saying, to these individuals. Guess what? We're not political, and a lot of people say, oh, you have to be this, you have to be that. No, if you feel you got what it takes and you can pass,
Come on
a
in.
physical, we're willing to at least give you an ear and an eye,
So you
And
guys are doing physical still within the
oh
bear,
yeah,
the bear
blood
hand.
work,
Okay, beautiful. Blood
EKGs,
work and everything.
everything. Because I'm over
Beautiful.
40, so I had to take an MRI. I had to take EKG, you know, and eyes and a whole bunch of other tests to make sure that because no one is taking chances like that. Everybody has to
Yeah,
get
you don't
checked
want
out
to.
from A to Z.
Yeah, of course. You want your life. This is, I'm not saying it's a sport. It's something you want to enjoy, something that you want to embellish and make money from, of course, but you don't want to lose your life over something. You still want to make sure, yeah, your health and everything's up to par. So I have to ask, and you know I was gonna ask you, the hair and the nails, is this your superpower? Is this what you use to scare people when you walk in? Is it what you use as intimidation? What is
No,
it?
no,
Tell me about it.
you know, it's so interesting. You know, I think, you know, with me, I'm a really super cool and chill guy, you know, and that's who I am now. But you know, that Dada 5000 guy, he's something else. And when you
Mm-hmm.
look at the hair, right,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like it's an upside down triangle, right?
Yes.
Now, if I were to put it the right way, how it was supposed to be, you would have noticed that, wow, this guy got dang on triangles in his head, right? I'm wearing this haircut for over 14 years. This is how
Really?
long, this is how long I've been thinking. So when people be talking, you know, it's like, hey, so what's the blueprints? It's right here. And I'm pointing at the triangle because that's what we fight in the mighty triangle.
In the mighty show.
Yeah,
Okay, so
in
you
the
already
mighty
knew.
triangle. You know,
I
this all
love it with this shirt and all.
yeah, I've been on this years ago. So
Yes.
they have no idea, you know what I'm saying, what I am. Sometimes I don't even know what I am when I'm coming up with these things, you know? And I just know that the world loves it, you know. And when you look at, you know, the hairstyle, the triangle, why the triangle? You know, because the triangle is the most powerful shape on the
It's
planet.
most solid. Yeah, that's what they said.
It's one that symbolizes so much. And when you talk about numerology and astrology and, you know, the pyramids, the eight wonders of the
And the
world, the
trio,
Bermuda
and yep.
Triangle, you know, all of these things, you know, they don't talk about no other shape, no other hexagon, plexagon, octagon, you know, paragon. They talk about the
The
triangle.
triangle.
You know what I'm saying? We have three equal sides: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because when
There
them
you go.
fighters get baptized in that ring, when they get up, you know what I'm saying, everything gonna be different.
He said
It's the real
baptized.
deal.
I love it. Like I said, this was exactly what I need to hear. And you literally broke it down to me, the fear, because your
Mm,
name literally puts it in there. I love that at 5,000. I do, but the fear really does explain and keep up with everything you're talking about. It literally, I don't, you're putting, it's not even just putting the fear in the people, it's literally what you're creating. You're creating that path to make sure that no matter who's in that, you know, in your dogfight or who's in bare hands, you're gonna make sure that you know that the fear is in them as well, that they
there you
understand
go.
that
There you
you're
go.
gonna keep it
Because
pushing, and that's a good
we give them
legacy to have.
exactly. We give them that talk. You know, this is big. I mean, it's bigger than me. You know, even though I'm the founder of it, you know, I'm just a spokesman. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an ambassador for the culture. You know, but every now and then I gotta suit up and get in that armor. You know, and get out there and do battle. You know, so
Yes, of course. You got to
yeah,
battle every once in a while. You can't do just sit back all the time. I love it.
yeah. And I tell people, I'm like, listen, you know, one guy, you know what I'm saying, who can get out there, market, promote, rep the brand, fight, and be the right hand that moves the needle that increase the ticket sales. That's not our 5,000, you know. And the show is just beginning, you know.
Okay, so other than Kimbo, tell me about another major fight that a lot of
Also,
people don't know about. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
what this
Are we
is
going
it,
in and out?
you know. I've been. Could you hear me now? Could you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Could you hear me? Okay. A lot of my fights that was crazy took place, you know what I'm saying, off of camera, you know, and it's so interesting because when I tell people, I'm 47-0. They think like this dude is crazy. He's 47-0. No, I was doing bare knuckle fighting before bare knuckle fighting became popular.
Before,
You know,
yes.
we've all bare knuckle fought. Going to school, you got into a fist fight with a girl, whatever. We're all bare knuckle fighters. You know what I'm saying? Some just polished their skills more, you know, and took the
A
craft
little
to
bit
another
more.
level. But all of us, we talk about being a boxer and an MMA fighter, but we're all bare knuckle fighters. You know, if you got into a bare knuckle fist fight in high school, in elementary, that you qualify. You qualify. So it's like, man, it's so much that I've done that was not a part of camera, but you know, we did go back, you know what I'm saying, did recaps and talk about, you know, a lot of that stuff there. Like a lot of people don't understand that I have 3 degrees. I'm in Associates of Arts in Associates of Arts in Education. I have Associates of Science in Business Administration, and I have a Bachelor's of Science with a major in pre-K primary education. But I'm not utilizing,
That's
you know what I'm saying,
beautiful.
none of that right now. But they should know that, you know, I'm well versed
You have something to fall back
with the
on if you
books
need
and
it.
the streets. So, you know, it's like I can't lose. You know, it's nothing that you can throw. Exactly.
I
But I
love
believe
that.
in what I'm
So you have
doing,
the
and you
education, the
know,
smart, street
we're
smart,
so
book
heavily
smart,
connected, and we're
everything.
bringing bigger. You can see them. You can plus having the spirit of discernment. You can see it coming from a mile away, and you already know. No, I'm not gonna be bothered with that. You know.
Yeah, that spirit of discernment will really save you from a lot in life. I promise you, it does. I think I need to strengthen mine up a little bit. I took a hit with some ways, but you're
Yeah.
right. So, what made you get to all these? What made you start out? Well, like I already know, you kind of said it yourself. You don't want to only just be on a path of just one thing. So, you set yourself on these degrees because you wanted something to fall back on,
Yeah.
and you wanted to know
You
that
know,
you
I
had
was
everything.
teaching. Yeah. What people don't know is that, you know what I'm saying, I was actually teaching for alternative education at Roving Leaders, you know.
Really?
Yeah, at Roving Leaders Academy, you know, it's alternative education. You know, I was also a counselor with juvenile corrections at I Care Bay Point, you know, schools. You know, I worked with kids all my life, you know, supervisor over
That's
the
good.
SAC program with children and families, you know, DCF, you know. So it's like before this and this, you know, I was you know,
Oh, suit and tie man.
yeah,
Mr. Corporate America himself.
you
You was
know,
doing it over there. Okay,
yeah,
Wall Street man.
yeah, working in corrections, we did it all.
I love that.
Yeah, you
So
know,
you really so you have every aspect. You already been in every window, and now you're at the point that you're gonna bring it to where you want to bring it and bring people to you.
I utilized those. See, those was just experiences. Aside from education, was experiences that I could take with me and I could utilize to navigate through whatever life situation, you know what I'm saying, may throw at me, you know. And I haven't worked for nobody in 15 years. The last job I had was in 2005. Yeah, was in 2005.
Amazing.
And you know what though? It's just that I believed in what I was doing that much. You know,
And you're very consistent with it. You have yet
yeah,
to let up on what you're
no,
doing.
no,
Bear
no, no,
fights
no.
and dog fight, everything has been consistent. So that's why it's working for you. You literally have not let up, and that is an amazing legacy. Like I said, you literally are putting your foot every step, like your best foot forward in everything that you're
Yeah.
doing.
And then, you know, I got a great team of individuals. Listen, from these social media, you know what I'm saying, tech kids, these new millennials that's big on YouTube and stuff like that. So we done put together a dynasty over here. You know, I got to give a shout out to Mike Vasquez, you know, my partner with NASCAR Big Tobacco. You know, I also got to give a shout out, you know, to Elvis, Miss Gladys over at the Hard Rocks,
Mhm.
Jose Pepe Cyrus, my whole Team 5000, everybody. Like, we're not playing, you know, and everybody will be able to go, you know, and I want everybody to subscribe, you know, to the YouTube channel, not just the real Dada 5000, but BYB Extreme. We're going to be putting out a lot of new hot content that's never been seen
BYB
before.
Extreme.
Yeah, BYB Extreme on YouTube, on Facebook, you know, on Instagram, you know, and we got some stuff that we're gonna be hitting them with. Merchandise,
Okay.
the whole 9 yard, Team 5000, dog fight merchandise, everything is coming soon, real soon.
Good. We love it. We love it. And don't forget to send us some so we can go ahead and promote it out here in VIBE95 right here in West Palm Beach for you, South Florida. You know, we right down the hall from you. So, you know, don't forget
Tell
us
you
out here.
what, I'm gonna be in that area within the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna
Oh,
be
really?
yeah. I'm coming through there because
Awesome.
I be in Boca. I be in Boca quite often. So you guys are like 30 minutes away from Boca, if that. So definitely, and then we could chat more about. Well, we could chat about the music thing, but we could really put some stuff, to together. What people don't know is that I actually rap, right? Before this stuff started popping, right? It's
Do
like,
you?
yeah, I was on the mic. I was on the mic, and I wrote a whole album, 16 songs. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
With an intro and an outro, you know what I'm saying? All verse for verse, all the hooks. I just never put the production to it. And I put a few
Okay.
songs on a disc that I got mastered, engineered, barcode, illustrated. It's just like how LL or Jay-Z will be getting it to you. So we ain't
That's
playing. We really doing it.
amazing. So we're definitely have to click in after this. We're definitely gonna have to get your information so we can definitely work together on that. That's amazing. Like I said, you are doing it all the way through, and I'm very proud. I'm so disappointed. I mean, not disappointed. I loved our interview. I'm sad that our whole time went by already. But
Yeah.
like I said, don't go nowhere. We are gonna go ahead and talk after we get off Brock. So go ahead and close us out tonight. Like I said, South Florida, thank you so much for being here with your girl. I'm not gonna go and say my name because I'm gonna let the fear say it because he says it so beautifully. I'm gonna go ahead and let us take us out of this show tonight. Don't forget, you guys, see you guys next week with your hottest and greatest hip hop and R&B radio show with your girl.
Hey,
Break us out, Harris.
ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm here with Don't Sleep Promotion. Shout out to them. We're vibing on 95, South Florida's hottest for reggae and hip hop with your girl, Lee Liddy. Man, we out. Coming to y'all city.
Coming to y'all live later. Have a
Yeah.
good night, you guys.